Hi everybody and welcome to today's Chinese pod lesson. I'm Joe.
大家好，欢迎来到中文播客，我是庆林。
In today's lesson, we are going to talk about traveling and some problems that come along with traveling. Normally, when you travel with your friends, it's not a big deal to take pictures, so you can easily ask your friend, hey, help me take a picture.
Joe, 帮我拍照。
Of course. But if you travel alone, this gets a little bit more complicated. So, of course, you have to know how you can ask somebody to do that. And this is exactly what our dialogue will be about. So let's check it out right now.
不好意思，请帮我拍照好吗？
好啊，1、2、3，好了。
真好看，谢谢。不好意思，请帮我拍照好吗？
好啊，1、2、3，好了。
真好看，谢谢。不好意思，请帮我拍照好吗？
好啊，1、2、3，好了。
真好看，谢谢。
Before discussing the content, let's check out the dialogue line by line.
Hey, that's an awesome name. Hope you got that trademarked.
Well, I tried, but it got refused.
And did you fight it? Man, you can't put all this money into your brand without knowing that your brand is protected.
Well, the trademark office refused it. So what can I do?
Actually, you can do a lot about this. The attorneys at trademarkers.com are dealing with refusals all the time, and in many cases can salvage your trademark by adding disclaimers or arguing against objections from the trademark office. And did you know that if there are other earlier trademarks that pose an obstacle to your registration, there are ways to require them to actually prove actual use and have them cancelled if they are not being used? Just contact professionals at trademarkers.com. With a network of attorneys in more than 60 countries, we make sure your brand is protected. Trademarkers.com.
不好意思，
Excuse me.
不好意思，
Excuse me.
不好意思，请帮我拍照好吗？
Is it okay for you to help me take a picture?
请帮我拍照好吗？
Is it okay for you to help me take a picture?
请帮我拍照好吗？好啊，1、2、3，好了。
Of course. 1, 2, 3, done.
好啊，1、2、3，好了。
Of course. 1, 2, 3, done.
好啊，1、2、3，好了。真好看，谢谢。
Really pretty. Thank you.
真好看，谢谢。
Really pretty. Thank you.
真好看，谢谢。
Of course, before we ask somebody to help us, we have to start the conversation somehow. And this is what the girl here does by saying, excuse me.
不好意思。
This literally translates to no good meaning. So it's kind of understandable from English, this my bad kind of feeling, but it's used in general to say, excuse me or I'm sorry. What else could we say here if you maybe don't know this excuse me?
你好，
Oh yeah, you can of course just say hello. Okay, and then she goes on and asks this question like, please help me take a picture. And here she uses this part that we had in the intro already, like help me take a picture.
帮我拍照。
Here are the words for taking a picture.
拍照，拍照。
And the first word here is help.
帮，帮。
And this is paired up with the word for I. So help me here in this case.
帮我拍照。
And This would be the version you can use with your friends. Just say, oh, help me take a picture. But if you, of course, want to be a little bit more polite because this person here doesn't know the other person, you can add some other things. And what she adds here is a word that means please or to ask somebody to do something.
请
Okay, and then all together it becomes please help me take a picture.
请帮我拍照
And here you have to maybe notice that actually this please, it's actually I ask you to help me do something, like I ask you to help me take a picture, but this you here, the ni, is left out. But the actual sentence, if you want to have it completely, would include this ni. How would that sound?
请你帮我拍照
She then ends her request by asking, is that okay for you?
好吗
This is a so-called tag question that we use after statements to turn this into a question. So here she first says, oh, please help me do this, and then, is it okay for you? What would be some other things maybe that foreigners, when they travel alone, maybe in China, need help with? What do you think?
翻译
Translation. So how would you ask somebody to help you translate?
请帮我翻译好吗
Okay, please help me translate. Is that okay for you?
还有点餐
Oh yeah, definitely need that. If you don't know how to order food, you might run into problems. Hopefully not starve, but yeah, you need to ask that for sure.
请帮我点餐好吗
And how could I ask somebody to help me open the door?
请帮我开门好吗
So here we have this 好吗 as is it okay for you for all these requests. But you can use this not only for requests or things where you need help with, you can use it for any kind of statements, and we often use this tag question to make suggestions as well. So for instance, if I say, oh, I'm tired a little bit, I need a break, and I'm maybe thirsty as well, what would you say?
喝茶好吗
Ah, like, let's have a tea. Is that okay for you? Or what is, if I'm super tired, what would you say maybe?
回家好吗
Let's go back home. Is that okay for you? So it's used to make a suggestion, or you can turn pretty much every statement into a question this way. The tag question, is it okay for you, is then answered by a simple, yes, it's okay.
好啊
So here we have okay again, and this time followed by a particle which expresses emphasis. So this time, 好啊 is a little bit more like there's energy in it. Yes, of course it's okay. And then he readies the camera and starts counting down, like giving you some time to pose. And he's 1, 2, 3.
1 2 3
So you want to learn traditional or simplified characters?
Can I just learn to speak Chinese? I really don't want to write or read. It's too much for me.
Are you one of the learners that told us early on that you just want to speak and listen to Chinese, and you think Chinese characters are way too complicated? Then I really think you should check out our new introduction into how to read and write Chinese characters. It focuses on simple characters that you encounter in a Chinese language environment every day. In 11 entertaining episodes, we set out to convince you that Chinese characters are actually quite easy, and we hope that you will soon share our excitement. Visit 88 characters on www.chinesepod.com/88 and give it a try. Or search for the first episodes on the Chinese Pod channel on YouTube. It's as simplified as that.
好了
Okay, here we have another how, so okay, and this time accompanied by le as a particle. And this particle just indicates that something is done. So this is now, okay, it's done.
好了好了
So you can use this when you say, oh, I'm done, something is done, I'm finished. You can often find this when, for example, an impatient boyfriend asks his girlfriend as well whether or not she's finished or done.
你好了吗
Like, are you prepared? Are you done? And then you could say, yeah, I am.
好了好了
Yeah, I'm finished. So the guy is done taking the picture, and the girl really likes the picture and says, this is really beautiful, thank you.
真好看谢谢
Okay, so here we have the word for thank you, which is 谢谢, and in the front we have the word for pretty.
好看
This is actually good and to look, so this together is pretty. And in front of this pretty, we have another word that means really.
真真
And this is used similarly to the English really. So you can use this to just say something is really plus an adjective. So here we had something is really pretty, the picture is really pretty. What else could the picture of her look like?
真可爱，
Okay, this would be really cute.
真漂亮，
Oh, that's really beautiful. And of course, you can use this to describe other things as well. So if we go back to our impatient boyfriend or girlfriend, for example, you could say, you are really slow.
你真慢，
So man is slow. Okay, with all these in our mind, let's go back and check out the dialogue again.
不好意思，请帮我拍照好吗？
好啊，1、2、3，好了。
真好看，谢谢。不好意思，请帮我拍照好吗？
好啊，1、2、3，好了。
真好看，谢谢。不好意思，请帮我拍照好吗？
好啊，1、2、3，好了。
真好看，谢谢。
Today you have learned how you can ask somebody to help you with something when you are traveling abroad or traveling in China. So for instance, you could say, oh, please help me order some food for me.
请帮我点餐，
And you have learned how to answer and ask tech questions.
就我肚子饿，下课好吗？
好啊? So, if you guys have any questions on today's content, please let us know in the comment section below.
好了，我是庆宁
And，I'm Joe.
下次见
见，
拜
拜
拜。
Now, here's a vocabulary recap.
请
Please
帮
help
拍照
take a picture.
好吗？
Is it okay?
As usual, ChinesePod provides an extensive selection of learning materials for this lesson on its website, www.chinesepod.com. You can access this lesson directly with the lesson number 4318. So just go to www.chinesepod.com/4318 and you will find a transcript, vocabulary, and much more. The link again, www.chinesepod.com/4318.